sleep last night. Oh
It's
no.
because someone who saw me on Kingdom Entrepreneurship with Pedro Adeo and said, "Oh, I saw you and let me talk to you and I think I can help you." And I thought he was going to help me with putting math online, but he actually was just another one like me. I thought he was one of Pedro Adeo's crew, and then so he gave me an idea a couple weeks ago. Then called me back last night, and I was just going to tell him that I'm fasting for 30 days and just didn't want to do it. So what? I talked to these other couple of people from Pedro Adeo's thing that came in free with my year subscription, whatever thing. And the way he attacks, he uses NLP or whatever this language thing is to kind of get you to react, and then okay, now we can start. Let's get to inner healing. I'm like, not. Anyway, it was attacking. So what steps have you done? And the whole thing, I said, I feel like I'm being attacked. I ended up. He's like, stop, 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 because I'm answering his question. I guess it was rhetorical maybe, and I'm going to answer it. And I got tired of this stop, 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 stop. So I actually hung up on him and then called him back and I said, just say stop once, please. And I'm like, I said, I don't deal well with that. Oh, it must be a childhood thing. I said, it's recently that my dad said, no, 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 no. Anyway, it was an hour and a half. I'm doing this for free. I just want you to know that it's a good. I said, why do you keep saying you're helping for free? I help people all the time for free. Why do you keep saying that? Because he said that I can tell other people, because I asked him how much it was going to cost me, because I thought he was supposed to be free from there, and then no, he was just helping me because this is what he does. But you're not supposed to solicit people on there. Anyway, it was just an ugly conversation that he might have he opened up some things that I know about myself, but I wasn't seeking him for counseling. I wasn't seeking him at all. He said, you asked me. I said, no, you found me because of something. Anyway, after like 10:30, I'm hanging up on it after talking to him on the way home from church, just to say, hey, I'm not wanting to do anything and had this horrible stuff. I just couldn't sleep, so I'm texting him back. He said, tell me how it is. It ended up being nice. He says, wait, ask Yeshua, ask Jesus to put your hands out and see yourself receiving money to be paid off. What's right. My homework is, it would be cool if blank, and then write 50 different things. And then they would hit 25. And next time we talk 10, and really delve into goal setting type things. And I'm like, and then he said, where would you like? I would like to go to Hawaii. I said, I would really just like to have the house paid off for my husband. I said, we have everything we need. I would just like to help more people. I'd love to do math online or sell some things to be able to help. Anyway, so it ended up being, I kept kind of sending him things because I was really put off by that type of thing. He says, well, this is what you need. You don't need your friends that say you're great. You need to know that you're great too. And, you need to get all this ugly stuff out, basically short. But he's not the type person that I'm needing to hear. And I woke up at 12:30. I couldn't get back to sleep. So it was like, rah! But my husband came in the morning to my room and we had a nice time together. And so we were just, I'm like, instead of complaining and saying I only had an hour and a half of sleep, I did put a note out, but he saw that afterwards. I was like, I'm really trying to pray and fast and be nicer to my husband, and he's nicer to me. And it's just, that's what I need to do. But I really want to know if I'm supposed to do the puppet ministry. I'm chomping at the bit to get back in there. But then my wrist was hurting today, and I asked Mark to massage in here and on my forearm. And please, because it was just hurting around here. So I'm going to go to the chiropractor for the clavicle bone right here. There's something that I feel like I have to just stretch. I do lie on my side, and I can feel it right here, coming up right in here, some kind of ligament or tendon from here. And I don't know if it's because my shoulders have been very subluxed again, and I need to speak that they're solid and in. But anyway, that's it. So I didn't look back at Messenger today to see if he responded again, because I'm like, no, I don't need to go there. I'm taking a break from Facebook, although I had to go back and apply to Facebook to watch the last couple of things of Pedro Adeo's Kingdom Entrepreneurship thing that I was interested in seeing for free. And I cannot believe that out of the hundreds of people that were there, I just heard that this past 9 months, I could have been going on and listening to someone to help me get ideas about my business. I mean, that's what I joined it for. And I raised my hand for the first time, maybe the second time. I think I've raised my hand once with y'all because I might have gone like this, but I didn't ever do the chat thing. I raised my hand. I'm one of the last ones because I couldn't get in. Finally found out where to go, get in. And he said, let's look at one of randoms. Okay, Dorothy. I'm like, yes, okay, this is what I want to do. And he said, well, tutor groups of 1 to 10, 1 on 10, and whatever it was. But I was like, yay, hey, I was chosen. So anyway, let's engage. So if you want to say anything.
Okay.
And if you're led to see anything about Connor, who has OCD and psychosis, he really got into the Catholic thing. I told you a year ago he stopped having sex with his girlfriend, but it's still really bad. Yeah. If someone says darn, he's like, oh God, please forgive them. And he's stands up and prays to himself, and prays, quietly, or stays in his room, and it's hard to get in the car or in a shower, and he's not showering. So it's really bad. It's hard for my sister. Okay. He's 21, I think.
All right. Thank you, Lord. We want to focus on whatever you want to show us. And so I feel like, especially right now, we need to focus on the Mateo, or whatever you call it, puppet,
yeah.
And see about that. So
or the other show, whatever he would have me do, and get to church. But yeah, Mateo, thank you. That's the main one.
I'll say immediately I saw you laying in a hammock, and he's like, I told you to rest.
Lord, I don't want to have fear of missing out on something and have fleshly desires. I want you know my future. Please show me that if I miss out on doing something else, you've got something else for me. I don't want to expend my energy wrong ways. But I won 2 puppets going to puppet learning at churches. So at least for that season, I know I was supposed to do it. Show me your will. I see what kind of looks like an angel, but it kind of looks like it's got butterfly wings instead of... I've never really seen an angel. I just kind of see the figure facing from left to right with the wings that kind of fluttered back and forth together and back apart. So like a flower coming up out of water, but it wasn't a water lily. It was like lots of little stringy lines of purple.
When you were asking about the fear of missing out, I saw you guys still in the garden. You were like sitting up in this hammock, and I saw Yeshua go, and he was spinning around, and he's like, look around. What could you possibly be missing out on?
So he was saying that in the garden?
Mm-hmm.
What could you possibly be missing out on?
I think it's just a shift of perspective,
Okay. Do you want me to wait on the math thing? Bring laborers to me.
So I can see that the Lord is wanting to do the math thing with you, but it has to be His way. And He was speaking this to me actually when you were talking about the different groups and things like that, and all of that. And it was clear He was saying, "You need my blueprints from heaven." So that's what He needs you to be seeking. Not ideas about what to do, but ideas from Him about what to do.
Instead of seeking several people that have spoken in, try this and do this, and you
Yes.
Okay.
And so He will wait. He will have you wait, I should say. He will have you wait until you get that from Him. And so it will not be a yes and moving forward until you get that from Him, but that could be today. So you just need to get those things from Him, and then He's ready for you to move forward.
Is there a place I go to get blueprints? Because I've never gotten blueprints before.
I mean, you can get them many different places. I would just ask Him. I would say, I would like your blueprint. I would like to know how you want me to do it. And you don't necessarily even see a scroll laid out. Some people do, but it could be that He just, in your mind, all of a sudden you see this thing happening, and it's this many people, and it's this, you know what I mean? Something like that. So,
Thank you.
yeah.
And the flowers that I want to have, the He loves me, He loves me, He loves me, that I've, I gave y'all some, but I really want to do, we're going to do that lesson for Valentine's Day again, because God is love. And I really would like to print them out and maybe sell them online with some kind of short enough thing on the back that they can buy, to go evangelize. And people have never said no to receiving one, but I've been able to then talk about God. But it needs to be brief enough, and that's someone else's forte, we'll say. And the Ford thing for off-road driving, for on-road driving. How do I connect with somebody with Ford after many years? I found out they changed to a different advertising company this past year. Is that something you still want me to do? And do I have to have all the pictures and blueprints, ideas of what I wanted them to do, twins and then actually triplets and different series of commercials? Or I don't want to feel guilty for having these ideas and never doing anything about them because I don't know where to begin. I don't want to waste any of His gifts. I'm taking a break from kids' church. That's okay, even though I'm still teaching next Sunday. Lord, I start self-doubting, thinking I have enough time to do that. I'm not tutoring very much. But then I go grab.
See. The Lord has just made it clear about, what Kim was saying about resting during your fast. I think it was. Were you saying that, Kim?
She didn't say during the fast, but rest. He's saying just rest.
So I was hearing that this fast is for resting and seeking Him on these things. And so you really need to be resting from all of your ministry during this fast, because this is about seeking Him about all of this, getting His blueprints, getting His ideas, making sure that you're supposed to be doing all of these things. And so that's what this fast is about. And the more the more you step into doing, the less you're going to be hearing about that. And so,
So even though I've committed to just the 9:30 a.m. next Sunday, because it's my lesson, do you think I should try to see if somebody else can do that, or do you think that's
I think that's what the Lord is saying, that you're supposed to be stepping into rest and not be doing that. You know, I'm never going to say do something. You need to hear from the Lord, but that's what the Lord was just showing me.
okay?
In addition to that, I have to tell you what I was hearing him say. I was hearing him tell you that you have to first learn to be able to fully rest in him before he's going to open doors for you to step into anything else. And so if it takes a day, it takes a day. If it takes 40 years, it's going to take 40 years. But it's like, it's really important that you learn to be able to rest in him. And so when he says, drop everything to rest with me, then you're going to have to be able to drop everything and rest in him.
Now tutoring, that wasn't a question of whether I should tutor. To me, all my questions were, should I tutor more online and reach more people than I only have like 8 people right now,
Sure.
like one person on Monday and maybe 4 on Tuesday, but 2 major ones have canceled. And
I don't know what he's told you directly about what you're supposed to be doing now or not doing.
okay.
But if he's told you to rest from everything, then I would take him at his word and rest from everything. If he's told
I
you
don't.
to rest from ministry,
I decided to rest from ministries, and to find out. So that's what
sure.
I did.
Yep.
And tutoring's not a ministry. It's something I can't. I haven't felt led to just stop tutoring the people that I've been helping. He's taken away a big portion already, like a third to half.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't have very many. I don't have anybody on Friday. I have maybe one. Anyway, I don't have much at all.
Well, if he's not saying anything about tutoring, then don't worry about tutoring.
It's like
whatever
9 hours a week.
You know, it doesn't matter if it's 9 or if it's 100, Dottie.
True.
It has to do with if the Lord is telling you to do that.
Okay.
I'll tell you that you need to do whatever he's saying. And
Right.
it
Then I
doesn't
need to see
matter.
him, because I told him I wanted to rest from
Right.
ministries and from giving to people. I never thought about resting from tutoring. I just resting from all of that stuff. So
Here's what I would do right now is just ask.
okay.
And if you get the go ahead to tutor, go ahead to tutor. If you get the go ahead to do whatever,
To
do
rest,
that.
then I'll
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Most important.
Okay. Father God, show me. Why do I look like I see like earmuffs, from snow, like white with like green, almost like earphones, headphones. Maybe I'm trying to, maybe they're noise cancellation headphones.
Thank you.
He keeps giving me this song that he gave me, just the first little. It's dancing with him, and it's just, you are the bridegroom and I am your bride. It starts higher. You will present me to Father with pride, and we'll dance across this heavenly dance floor, made of sea of glass. That's why I was asking you. Made of beautiful heavenly. I can't. it's got to be something. But anyway, it's just ballroom dancing with him.
That's nice.
I could see earlier, I didn't want to interrupt because of what I saw actually, but when you were given the earphones, they are noise canceling, but it's about canceling out all other voices but his. My voice, Kim's voice, other people's that you keep hearing. You can't hear anyone else's. It's about only you hearing from him and only you seeing from him too. I could see that your spiritual sight is growing immensely. And this is part of it, is canceling out the other voices, is being able to see better. So yeah.
I had a meeting with Carol and Rencha, who are we three are in the Love Dare little group too for our husbands. And but I said, does anybody want to Zoom? And then Carol said yes, and Rencha said yeah. Rencha said yes, and then Carol got like yay, because let's do the Love Dare for one day for 17. And then Mohan Raj joined us, and Laurel. And I said, just for an hour. Well, it ended up being 2 hours on Thursday, and it was mainly me talking. And then Laurel said, okay, well, what's in those 4 windows that I saw? And it was not just like 4 panes of glass looking out. There were 4 different scenes. And one was Jesus as a priest and Jesus with the crown of thorns. And another one was the Lion of the tribe of Judah. And then a daisy flower and a group of tulips and just different things. So, oh my gosh, it just kept going on and on. It's beautiful. I was like, thank you, God, for all these visions.
Wow.
I feel like I'm going down like a hallway or a jetway, but it almost looks like, maybe because I just saw a movie with Mark today, that you would let out of an airplane, to let something go out. You know how they drop while they're up in the air, it goes down, and either dropping something or another airplane takes off or something else coming out of it. I don't know if that is. It was just some kind of like plank that I saw. I don't know if I've been having headaches because of the weather or neck working out, because I've been starting to go to the gym. I did 4 days this week. Or my contacts, which are so drying, they can give me headaches sometimes. Is it stress?
No, I saw, it's definitely not your contacts. I don't think it's stress either. It's this lack of sleep and water, both of them combined. It's like, because you need, there you go.
I drink water all the time, but it never quenches my thirst. I get way more than the half amount of your weight.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm
it's
the same.
sleeping then.
Yeah, especially Laura's just showing me today, because you got less sleep, you need more water, and you really need more sleep. But the dehydration is happening more because you're awake. You've been awake more. And so that's important, that you actually get enough sleep and enough water. At least that's what's happening with the one right now. I guess I can't say that indefinitely, but I can feel the one right now is because of that.
Thank you. I saw what kind of looked like a tag hanging down from like a C clip. It's like just hanging down. Don't know what it's for. Kind of looked like a luggage tag, but like just a hanging on, or a key tag. I don't know. Now it looks like an old little Barbie sized purse, but little, because the plastic handle used to be like oval. Now it kind of looks like a satchel, like when you have, and it opened up like this, as if you would put books in there, like in an old-fashioned type carrying attaché case. Just reminded me of like Bill Branham. Maybe he would carry something like that, like his Bible in it.
Who?
Bill Branham, William Branham was a healing minister. I've read the 5 books that were biographies about him, and he would just hold someone's hand, and by whatever color, whatever happened in his hand, he could tell whether it was cancer or something else. Lived old fashioned. He was born and there was a light around it. I think he died, and his grandma prayed for him, and then they saw this light come around the house, whatever. And he would never take any money, so his family of wife and kids lived dirt poor because he wouldn't take the $1 million offered him because everything was healing, healing, healing. And anyway, it just looked like that kind of old fashioned, and for some reason that came to mind. I still have his books, but I gave away 9 boxes of them. But his I kept because the healing ministry I've always wanted to have for people. And Lord, the other day I saw someone carrying a Bible with a big rubber band, as if like holding it as a handle through the Bible upside down, kind of like Little House on the Prairie would carry a book. It's old fashioned, like evangelism. What do you want? Last question is, Lord, when I go to New Orleans, to stay with my dad, the 18th to possibly the 28th, he doesn't think he needs someone that long. But he watches Matlock and all these murder mysteries and things like that and game shows, and that doesn't seem very restful to me. But he loves someone being there with him. Show me how to not hurt his feelings or what to do that it won't affect me. I'm in you and you're in me. Thank you.
I saw you just focusing in on the Lord when you're around that, and him like putting this, it looked like a thick rubber barrier around your mind and your spirit just so that it wasn't soaking any of that in.
Thank you. Because I like to try to go into the kitchen or the other room while the first scene is, or go to the other room and then come back. But still, it's going through it and figuring it out. And it used to be interesting, but it gets to me after a while. Good idea. Because he's not doing so well, and I don't want to hurt his feelings and say, okay, I'm going to go in the back room the whole time. Okay. I saw what looks like a boat, and I thought, okay, this is it. This is your tutoring time. And it's like with oars, it's still restful to me because it brings me joy. And it doesn't matter how tired I could be. That's like, yay. I was so excited when I called Haley 3 doors down. She's losing the ability to graduate with honors because she took 2 math classes and her mom tried to tell her don't. And she's failing one and getting all A's. And now she won't graduate with honors just because she's going to be getting a D. So I said, can I just tutor you for free? Don't tell your mom. Please just come over here. I had someone that had a D in pre-calculus one semester, and they said, drop it and take it the next year. They found out about me. And this girl got A's and B's, ended up with a B or a C for the thing. I said, can we just work together as often as we possibly can? She said, well, I actually have 2 packets due tomorrow and I'm having a quiz. And so she came over. I was so excited. It brought me energy and joy. And oh gosh, it was so wonderful. I just can't tell you how excited it was.
Really good.
So anyway, I know it's time to go.
That's cool.
Was there anything else that y'all saw?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No.
Thank you
Are
for the
you doing
encouragement.
okay?
Yeah. Yeah. I, I like the fact that I can wait for the blueprints from heaven and I don't have to rush because my Pedro Adeo thing ends. Now I found out it's April 28th. And I don't have to, I feel like, oh, I want to tell the pastor while they're figuring out the new thing that I want to do the puppet. So let me still be Mateo because otherwise they'll get somebody else. So what if they get somebody else? I feel like I've let him down, but a lot of people have been over. He says that a lot of people have been overwhelmed, and even the band and everything else. But yeah, I had started to take offense for somebody else the other day, and I'm like, ooh, offense is the bait of Satan. I read, no, don't do that. So I repented and removed judgments.
Good. I've had to do that too. And I'm like, wait a second, I'm getting offended. This is not a good choice.
Especially when you want to stick up for somebody else and say, hey, you know, if this is their baby and you really want to give it out, adopt it out from underneath them, let somebody else write their stories. Anyway. All right. I love you bunches. I wish
Love
I had made
you.
it earlier, but it was so joyful that she could come over. I was
That's
like,
cool. You got to do what the Lord's leading you to do.
yes.
It's good.
All right.
Thank
Well,
you so
we'll
much.
talk.
I'm going to go get early sleep. I'm going to read my fasting book and go to sleep.
Good. Okay. All right.
Love you bunches.
Love
Love you.
you. Bye.
Bye bye.